Hi, I'm Sarah Denham. Let me tell you something about this Level 1 Confident Engaging Speaking course, which has been running in Melbourne live in a room since 2011. So a long time now, with constant refining and tweaking on my part to make sure that it continues to stay relevant and can help you in the maximum way possible. The course runs over 5 weeks, typically 5 mornings, one morning each week from 9:30 until about 12 o'clock, 12:15. The group size is usually 5 to 8 people. I don't take more than 9, that's the maximum. And you get to speak twice each week. So there's practice that's happening. You do an impromptu, think on your feet, and I teach you how to do that. I give you frameworks for that. You also do a prepared talk. Now that can be a presentation, or it can be something you might do in a meeting, or if you don't want to do a presentation style because that's not what you need, you can practice what you need, which might be more impromptu. It might simply be standing in front of a room or sitting down and having people ask you difficult questions, dealing with Q&A, anything that is most useful and for what you need. There is no set formula other than the impromptu. So you speak twice each week. The prepared talk is for about 3 minutes. You can videotape yourself, you can record yourself on your phone for that 3 minute segment each week. And you can also record my feedback. So you can take that home and watch it again, watch and listen to the feedback, observe, self-coach, as it were, or of course, show it to someone who you trust. And see how they might consider the feedback and how that might also work for you. Of course, you don't need to record yourself. It's entirely up to you. And you don't even have to watch the recordings back, but it's useful to have them. And I always recommend that you do press record because that you might choose at some point to watch what was happening, even if you store them all up and watch at the end of the course. What else do you need to know? The focus is on building confidence. That's what level 1 is all about, building confidence and building your competency, your engagement skills, so that you know when you are more engaging, you know that how to engage with audiences in ways, or in a meeting, I'm not talking, formal audiences, but whatever you need to know that your body language, your style, vocally, your tone, and sometimes the words, the choices that you make around words, or the order, the structure, any of these things, all of these things we will look at, and any of these things can be useful to build your confidence in a way that you go, oh, okay, now I realize what was not working. Now I can use that, and your confidence will naturally start to lift. We also do some mindset around confidence, as well as actual behaviors, body language, things that will give you a strong foundation so that no matter what's coming at you, you can actually feel that you know how to deal with it. Sometimes it's a question of being in front of people and just absorbing and allowing and not denying the fact that you are in fact being watched. Because that can be a really big deal for people. And when you're at work or when you're under pressure, you can't stop and take note of what's actually happening and see if you can work with that. For some people that is possible, but that's rare. And that's one reason why I recommend this course so strongly, because not only does it accelerate your progress, but it also allows you to reinvent yourself in a way, in a room where people don't know you and they don't have the preconceived expectations of you that might get in your way. They also might allow you to release some of the expectations you have of yourself, because we typically, particularly if you're a high achiever or you want to get things right, that's going to be getting in your way. Which also leads me to the thought that you will always stay you. Unless, of course, you don't want that, in which case we can work around a different way of how you might see you and what might work better for you. The point I make here is that you are entirely yourself, and I am not changing you. I'm making suggestions of things that you might want to drop, continue, and further develop in ways that will support you. I have been doing this for a very long time now, and I've worked with people at every level, right up to executive. I've worked with a client on a National Press Club address, which is that live event in Canberra, recorded for the ABC, and that kind of pressure I'm very familiar with helping clients with, right down to you simply want to speak up more in a meeting and you want to feel more confident. And both are equally valid. It doesn't matter where you're presenting, or in fact, if you're not presenting, perhaps you have a wedding coming up or you want to speak socially, you're also very welcome to join the course. The impact of English as a second language, again, so long as you're able to communicate well enough and can understand and follow the conversation and the ideas, because some of the ideas are, relatively complex, you're also very welcome. And you can always contact me if you're not sure, if you want to ask me. That's never a problem. And if you're concerned about your vocabulary, which can be a challenge for some people, they go, oh, I'm worried I sound too simple. That's usually a benefit. Like, we don't actually need a lot of complexity. However, if you say to me, Sarah, I do need to elevate my vocabulary, I can help you with that as well. So the course runs out of the eastern suburbs in Melbourne. Car parking is free. There are breaks. There is a break in the middle. It's very much geared towards you. It's close to a train line, and there is a tram that stops basically outside the door, the 109 that runs from the city. I think Port Melbourne, it starts. I think that gives you pretty much everything that you might need. And also an idea about actually seeing how I might present if you've not seen any others of my videos. I'd love to meet you in a room. I can support you and I can help you. And I'm also very upfront if I feel that I can't help you. So always feel free, if you're uncertain, feel free to get in touch with me. Otherwise, you can book via the webpage. You can contact my EA, support at sarahdenholm.com.au, and we can be in touch with you. Final thing I'll say is it is usually, check with your accountant, but it will nearly always be a tax deduction as professional development. If you need to speak at work, it will be a tax deduction for you. All right. I'd love to work with you. Hope to meet you soon. Bye for now, and best wishes with everything that you're doing. Even if I don't work with you, I hope you find someone who suits your style that you feel comfortable with. Okay, bye.